I gave my son everything. My entire retirement, $310,000, 35 years of teaching, every saved dollar. He said it was for his dream clinic, helping people walk again, building something honest. Then one Saturday, I drove by to surprise him. The clinic was already open. Ribbon cutting, mayor smiling, champagne. 7 weeks, and not one call. That's when I opened the accounting file and saw Disney World. If stories like this move you, subscribe, like, and press the bell icon so you never miss a powerful new story. Now tell me, if your child took your $310,000 retirement, what would you do? Forgive or fight back? Drop your answer in the comments. Let's continue the story. Hank Wilson never imagined retirement would feel this empty. At 64, he still woke at 5:45 every morning out of habit, made a pot of Folgers and sat at the same kitchen table where he'd graded papers for 35 years. The house in suburban Columbus, Ohio was quiet now. Too quiet since Linda passed. 5 years ago, cancer took her fast, leaving behind the scent of her lavender hand cream on the pillows and a retirement account he'd guarded like a fortress. That account, $310,000 from his 401k, a small IRA rollover and careful savings, was supposed to be his safety net. Enough for modest trips to see their daughter Emily in California, maybe a used fishing boat for Lake Erie, doctor visits without panic. Instead, it became seed money for his son Ethan's dream. Ethan was 38, married to Sarah, a sharp marketing consultant who always seemed one step ahead of everyone. Ethan had the credentials: physical therapy degree from Ohio State, years working at a big chain clinic downtown. He talked about opening his own place the way kids talk about becoming astronauts, with stars in his eyes and numbers on napkins. It started on a chilly October afternoon. Leaves were turning gold and red. Hank was raking the front yard when his phone rang. "Dad, it's me. Can we grab coffee? Got something important." They met at Bob's Diner on Main Street, the same booth they'd used since Ethan was in high school. Ethan slid in wearing a crisp button-down, looking more like a businessman than the boy who'd once broken his collarbone playing pickup football. "I've got a plan," Ethan said, spreading papers across the table. "Oak Ridge Physical Therapy and Rehab Clinic, suburbs location, high traffic, aging population, post-surgery demand. Sarah's handling branding and online ads. We can be profitable in 18 months if we move fast." Ethan listened, sipping black coffee. The numbers were big. Lease, equipment, certifications, initial staffing, $310,000 minimum. "That's basically everything I've got saved," Hank said quietly. Ethan leaned forward. "I know, and I hate asking, but this isn't charity, Dad. It's building something real, helping people walk again, play with their grandkids. No ownership for you, no public credit. Just let me prove I can do this. I'll keep you updated every step." Hank stared at the napkin sketch. Therapy rooms, waiting area, a small hydrotherapy pool. He thought of Linda, how she'd always said family dreams were worth protecting. He thought of his own father, who worked double shifts so Hank could go to college. "Okay," Hank finally said, "but no secrets. I want to know what's happening. Maybe even swing by with lunch sometimes." Ethan's face lit up. "You won't regret this. Promise." 2 weeks later, Hank walked out of First National Bank with a cashier's check in his jacket pocket. The teller had asked twice if he was sure. He nodded, stomach tight, and drove straight to the empty storefront in the strip mall off Route 23. Ethan and Sarah were waiting. Sarah hugged him tightly. "You're a hero, Hank." He handed over the check. "Use it right." The early months felt hopeful. Ethan sent photos, walls coming down, new flooring going in, boxes of therapy tables arriving. Hank replied with practical advice, links to cost-effective ultrasound machines, tips for local suppliers. Ethan texted back, "Thanks, Dad, you're the best." Then winter arrived. Updates slowed to once every 2 weeks. Christmas dinner at Hank's house was warm but brief. Ethan talked excitedly about permits being approved, but no invitation came to see the site. "Busy season," Ethan explained when Hank asked. Hank nodded. He understood busy. Spring brought longer days but shorter messages. Hank tried calling, voicemail. He texted, "How's the build going?" Read receipt. No reply for days. To fill the silence, he joined a bowling league with his neighbor Jim, a retired police sergeant whose own son had borrowed money for a food truck and then vanished until it went bankrupt. Over beers after games, Jim would shake his head. Kids think the world owes them shortcuts. Hank always defended Ethan. He's different. He's working hard. One Saturday in late June, Hank woke with a plan. He'd pick up subs from Subway, drive to the strip mall, surprise them, maybe see the framing, smell fresh paint, feel part of it. He pulled into the lot around noon. The parking spaces were full. A bright new sign glowed above the entrance. Oak Ridge Physical Therapy and Rehab, now open. Hank's truck idled. He stared. The windows showed movement. A receptionist smiling at a new patient, 2 therapists guiding an elderly woman on a treadmill, exercise balls rolling across clean floors. A banner still hung, "Grand Opening Specials, 20% off first session." He walked closer, slowly, read the small plaque near the door, "Helping you heal since May 1st. 7 weeks. The place had been open 7 weeks. He pulled out his phone with shaking hands, searched the clinic's Instagram. The feed was alive. Ribbon-cutting ceremony, Mayor Jenkins smiling with giant scissors, champagne toasts, Sarah in a sundress hugging Ethan, posts dated May 2nd, family photos everywhere, Ethan's cousins, Sarah's parents, even the staff. Not Hank, not one picture, not one mention. Something cracked inside him. Not anger yet, just a deep, hollow ache. That evening his phone buzzed. Text from Sarah. "Hey Hank, clinic is absolutely booming. 45 patients a week already. Quick favor, unexpected licensing renewal fee came up. $18,000. Any chance you could help? Last ask, swear. Heart." Hank stared at the screen until it went dark. Instead of replying, he opened his laptop. Ethan had given him read-only access to the QuickBooks file months ago, just for peace of mind, Dad. He logged in. He scrolled through the operating budget, line after line of legitimate expenses, rent, payroll, supplies. Then the anomalies. Consulting fees, $12,000 to S. Wilson Marketing. Reimbursements, $9,500. Administrative bonuses, $10,700. Total, $32,200. He cross-checked the linked bank transactions. Payments routed to Sarah's personal American Express. One charge, Delta Airlines, round trip Columbus to Orlando. Another, Disney World tickets. A third, large purchase at Pottery Barn, couch, coffee table, lamps. Vacation, furniture, with his retirement money. Hank sat back. Memories flooded in. Summers working construction to pay for Ethan's college, skipping family trips so they could afford braces and football camp, holding Linda's hand through chemo while promising her their savings would see them through. He printed every page, highlighted every suspicious line. Then he texted Ethan, "Come to the house tonight, 7 p.m. Important." They arrived on time. Ethan in clinic scrubs, Sarah in yoga pants and a hoodie. They looked tired but upbeat. "Hey, Dad," Ethan said, trying for casual. "What's going on?" Hank didn't smile. He gestured to the kitchen table where coffee mugs waited and a thick folder sat in the center. Sit down." They sat. Hank pushed the folder toward them. "Open it." Ethan flipped it open. His face changed as he read. Sarah leaned over, eyes widening. Hank spoke quietly, voice steady like when he explained photosynthesis to a room of distracted teenagers. "7 weeks ago, this place opened. Grand opening with the mayor, photos online, champagne. I found out yesterday when I drove by to surprise you with lunch. No call, no text, nothing." Ethan swallowed. "Dad, we were slammed. Permits, inspections, last-minute hires. It slipped." "It slipped," Hank repeated, "for 7 weeks." Sarah jumped in. "Hank, business moves fast. We didn't want to bother you until everything was perfect." Hank tapped the highlighted pages. "And this? $32,200. Consulting, marketing reimbursements, bonuses, all paid to your personal accounts. Flights to Florida, Disney, new living room set." Silence stretched. Ethan rubbed his face. "Cash flow got tight. We borrowed from the ops budget. Figured we'd repay it quick once patients started coming." "With my money," Hank said. "The money I gave so you could build something honest." Sarah's voice sharpened. "Startups are brutal. We needed a break, 1 weekend to recharge. It wasn't personal." Hank looked at her. It was very personal. He leaned forward. "I didn't give you that money for vacations or furniture. I gave it because I believed in you, in family. But trust isn't automatic. It's earned. And right now, it's broken." Ethan's eyes glistened. "Dad, I'm sorry. I got caught up. Sarah pushed for growth. I pushed back, but I let it happen." Hank didn't raise his voice. He never did when it mattered. "Here's what's happening next. 1, independent bookkeeper does a full audit. I pay for it if needed. 2, you repay the $32,200, monthly installments, 3% interest, documented. 3, the original $310,000 is no longer a gift, it's a loan. We go to a lawyer tomorrow and make it official. No more surprise requests, no more vague line items." Sarah crossed her arms. "That's harsh." "It's fair," Hank said. "You want harsh? I could demand it all back today, or walk away completely. But I'm choosing this instead." Ethan stared at the table. After a long minute, he nodded. "Okay, we'll do it." They left quietly. Hank stayed at the table until midnight, coffee cold, replaying every moment. The next 6 months were slow and awkward. The lawyer's office was small and smelled of old paper. Papers were signed, terms set, $800 monthly repayment starting in 30 days, full transparency on finances. Ethan began sending monthly reports, patient numbers, revenue, expenses, dry spreadsheets but consistent. Hank started tutoring part-time at the community center, middle school science. One kid, a quiet boy named Marcus, reminded him of young Ethan, always asking why things worked the way they did. "Why'd you stop teaching full-time?" Marcus asked one afternoon. "To help my son start a business," Hank answered. "Cool. Does he let you come see it?" Hank smiled thinly. "Sometimes." He visited the clinic 3 times in those months. First time, Ethan gave him a stiff tour. Patients thanked the owner's dad, not knowing the full story. Second time, Sarah was absent. Third time, Ethan asked Hank's opinion on new equipment. Small steps. Thanksgiving arrived. Emily flew in from California. The table was set with Linda's china. Conversation stayed light until dessert. Emily cornered Hank in the kitchen. "Dad, are you okay? Ethan told me about the loan thing." "I'm okay," Hank said, "just protecting what's left." She hugged him. You always protected us, even when we didn't deserve it." Christmas was quieter. Ethan and Sarah came. Gifts were simple, no big announcements. But when Hank opened a small envelope from Ethan, first repayment check inside, plus a handwritten note, "Thanks for not giving up on me," something eased in his chest. One spring afternoon, almost a year after the confrontation, Hank drove to the clinic unannounced. No subs this time, just himself. Ethan was in the back office reviewing charts. He looked up, surprised but not defensive. "Hey, Dad." Hank leaned in the doorway. "Thought I'd see how things are going." Ethan stood. "Busy, good busy. We're adding a second hydrotherapy slot next month." They walked the halls together. Patients nodded hello. A woman on crutches waved. "Your son's the best, Mr. Wilson." Hank smiled for real this time. Later, in the parking lot, Ethan hesitated. "Dad, I know I messed up, big time, but I'm trying to make it right." Hank looked at his son, still young, still learning. "I know," Hank said. "Keep trying." He got in his truck and drove home. The house was still quiet, but it didn't feel empty anymore. Retirement wasn't what he'd planned. No boat yet, savings rebuilding slowly. But family, scarred, complicated, real, was still there. And for Hank Wilson, that was enough.